assuming that the journey is a man that starts with nothing to something, because there's a lot of men
That
that have
is exactly the journey of.
You said what?
Are we just reacting right away?
Yes.
Oh, like
no introductions.
No introduction.
No introductions. No, we don't do that.
I think I deserve an introduction.
You gonna get an introduction like halfway through.
What?
You know? Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's the click-through rate, all right?
Of every man on earth, we are born without value.
Do you think
so there's specificity in that.
Can I just
because
ask-
that's not how it should be for everybody, and that's not how it is for everybody, and not for every woman either as well, may I just say.
Can I ask Brittany something, please? You know, like, then you've learned in the past.
What's
Okay,
going on?
really quickly. So, so he just said men are not born with value. Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
Men are not born with value?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, shit. Now I got to explain. Let's get it. All right. So typically, we talk about in a dating marketplace, right?
Okay.
So typically, as a man, you are not valuable until you have status, money, resources, etc., right? So you're not born with that. Women are, on the other hand, they're born with their value, which is their beauty.
I think both people could be, like, both genders can be beautiful. That's so not fair. What?
Well, life's not fair.
Wait, I'm so confused.
Okay. So no, let's do it. So earlier we did not an episode, but we did a quick little red pill and chill. I asked you very specifically. I said, would you date potential? And you said you wouldn't date potential.
I wouldn't date potential.
So
because I know.
You know what?
I know when I see something good or not.
Okay, based off of.
I think it's just like the way you talk confidence, because you can.
Nah, you're not finna skate it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason why you said that you wouldn't date that person is because he doesn't have the things yet. And I said he lived with his mom, right?
I can't do that. I can't, well, because, like, I'm not going to do that. If I can't I've had this struggle where I can't be the breadwinner.
Okay.
That sounds weird, because I'm planning to be a badass lawyer. Oh, God, to whatever it's quoting me. And, but, like, I plan on doing so much. I can't have the guy to have lower ambition. I want someone to inspire me.
Gotcha.
I just want to, I don't want someone living with mom.
Okay, but we got to talk about so much shit.
I know.
So expiring and results are two different things, because someone can live with a mom and still be expiring and working hard to be whatever he wants to be, but he just doesn't have the results yet.
Okay, so let's ask the condition. Why is he living with his mom?
Because he haven't made it yet, quote unquote.
How old is he?
25. I don't know.
Okay, he's had time.
He went to college. He was like, college wasn't for me, but I still finished it maybe, and I dropped out, or I finished it, but now I'm on my pursuit to be a YouTuber or a rapper or a singer. I'm just naming some shit. And he just hasn't made it yet.
I mean, is there an opportunity coming? There's so many conditions.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't want to get away from the main point. The main point is you yourself want results from that man.
Or I just want, an example of something they're already doing. They can't just be like, oh, I want to do this and not doing anything about it.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Like, I can't have a bum. So it's like, oh, because I can be like, I want to fly to the moon.
Yeah.
But, like, if I'm not becoming an astronaut, then I'm not going to do it.
Which I understand, and I understand completely. But the point is, you still want results.
Yeah.
You still want to be seen that there's
progression.
progression.
At least be a part of NASA.
You still want to be seen that there is a progression, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yes. So going back to the major point is that men, we have to have results for women to start to really take us serious.
Okay. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I get it.
But if you live with your mom and the guy finds you cute, he doesn't care if you live with your mom. He's gonna be like, oh, she's cute, I'm willing to take her out.
Well, I want him to think, oh, she's smart, she's a badass, and
we don't care about that.
Okay,
I'm just
whatever,
letting you know straight
fine.
up.
That is what okay, you know what?
that comes after, like way down the line. After
personality is not discovered yet.
Yeah.
I did have to tell someone when, like, they asked me on a date the other day. They were like, oh, like, I was like, you have to talk, like, take me out, like, talk to me. And he's like, I feel like I know you. And I'm like, no, you don't know me. There's a personality.
He's trying to get you with the okie doke. I ain't gonna count.
Yeah.
He's trying to get you with that okie doke.
That's hookup culture.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So yeah,
I don't think I even
men have
answered
to men have to build their value. Women just born with their value when it comes to the dating marketplace.
I just think that's so weird that, like, that's how it's defined. I don't get that. You can explain it, but I just
what do you disagree with because we have to understand.
So we're talking about babies. Like, I don't know.
Huh?
Like, it's like some born with it. I'm imagining a baby right now.
Yes. So when you are a female baby, right? A human baby.
When I'm a baby.
When you hit 18.
Okay.
You are already valuable.
Yeah.
You don't need to have your status. You don't need money. You don't need cars. You don't need ambition. You don't need experience. We prefer you to have
Can you tell my
inexperience.
mom this? Because as a Jewish mother, she's like on my ass about a B if I get a bad grade. So let her know that.
No,
I was
hold on.
born with my value.
No, hold on. I want to be very clear. The dating world and the successful society, being a human by yourself, is completely different, obviously. So from the dating perspective, it's
okay. I
we
guess
don't
so.
care.
I guess.
From that perspective, yeah, your mom still should be on your ass doing what she does.
Yeah.
Let's carry on.
And now you want to find someone to settle down. With hindsight now, would you have reversed it and like started young, looking for someone to settle down with, looking for those values that now you know? I'm talking that with hindsight.
Okay, well, I actually
She's
from
pretty.
18 to 22.
So what?
She's pretty.
Oh, okay.
I was in a relationship. I've always actually been a lover girl, despite what I put out online for,
I've never
views.
seen you online.
Yeah, that's
So-
fine. Well, that's even better. I have always wanted one person, and I feel like I was so delusional in thinking that, oh, I'm like you said, like I have value, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm at my peak. Like, why wouldn't you want to be with me? So, going into these relationships, or just like just people, my goal was always to get commitment. Like, I'm giving you my time, I'm pouring into you because I want commitment. And the reality is, I'd never really understood my value. So I was going through guys, giving up sex, doing this, and it didn't make sense. So I believe in, like, I stand on everything I do. Like,
Yeah.
I don't do apology tours. It is what it is. And I think that's where I feel like when they talk about women being delusional and all these other things, it is true. Because what you have to understand is that there are repercussions to your decisions, which is fine. So then you're talking about, okay, well, I want this type of guy, I want this, that, and that. You're talking about maybe monogamy. That's 3 to 5% of animals are monogamous. I think that's what it is, right? So your window is really, really small for what you're looking for. And even to go on to the point where you said, where you were talking about, it's like a subconscious fear. I think it's like, for me, I feel like if it was more of a fear, I would have just stayed in my situation. Like, it wouldn't have made sense. Like, I mean, that was my first kid. I thought I waited and did it right. I left because I believe it. There's something else on my heart when it comes to love, and I'm just going to have to trust that. And if that means being alone, having a dog, I have to take that chance, because the Bentley, the ring, the house, and still getting, again, deceived, right? Disrespected, because deceit is disrespect, right? So I cannot settle for that. I can't suck a dick and shut up. And that is where a lot of people don't like my views and what I represent, because it is
right.
something new. I don't know how it's going to fucking end. I don't know what's going to happen.
What would you tell your 7?
Okay, pause. Now go ahead.
Okay,
Talk
well,
to me.
I was gonna.
Seems like you got a lot to say. Let's talk
Well,
about
the
it.
first thing that came up is that, like, when she was like, "Oh, I want like monogamy." My first boyfriend, when I was in kindergarten, had 5 other girlfriends at the time.
As you should. Let's
Yeah,
talk.
so I guess my first relationship was polygamy.
Good, okay.
But then it's so true, because talking about like, oh, suck a dick and you're quiet, or like, that's so true, guys. Like,
What is true about it? Talk to me.
I don't know. Like, I feel like guys are so interested to get to know you up until a point. Like, once they feel comfortable, then it starts to like revolve around them. And you kind of like, oh, they want to watch football. Okay, I don't like to watch football, but I'll sit and like for 2 hours straight. You can ignore me. This is a very personal example, and talk to your roommates and everyone else, but me. I'm like, oh my god, I'm playing housewife. Like,
Okay. Let's get it.
yeah.
Let's get into it. All right. So this is one of the major quotes I like to use when it comes to this particular topic is, men are islands and women are boats. Okay. So that
I'm
means...
a speedboat.
Stupid as fuck. So generally speaking, when 2 people get together, a man and a woman gets together, the woman generally tends to adapt the likes and habits of the man.
Okay, see, like that, yes and no.
Okay.
But if anything, I notice I'm a little bit too bossy, where I've had to break up with a guy. I mean, pretty right. Like, I once dated a guy, and I'd be like, where do you want to eat? And he'd be like, wherever you want to eat. So, like, it became kind of like, I don't know.
Hold on 1 second.
Beta!
Go ahead.
Like, I guess, like, the guys, because I'm a very strong personality, the ones that I've dated have been a little weaker in personality, in which at first they come across very confident, but then in private they can't make their own decision, or then start becoming dependent. And I'm like, because like I'm a strong personality, but I need someone to challenge.
Of course. Well, that's majority of women. So majority of women think exactly how you think, which is if my level is here, I need someone that's on this level.
Right.
That's above. No matter what your level is, you want someone above that shit. Yeah.
I guess mine's too high.
Or are you too masculine?
Do you know my mom got mad at me. She told me she could stop paying for the dates.
You pay for dates?
I do.
For first dates?
I mean, yeah.
Bro, what world
I don't even
are we
have the money to do it.
What world are we living in where women...
I guess, like, I want to be like, oh, like, I'm so easy, like, go on a date with me. It's like, and then I'm like, I got it, don't worry. They take me up on the offer. The first time
Who's gonna deny that shit?
Okay, I guess I want to be like, oh, let me pay. And they're like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, wait, this was like a little debate. And you'd be like, no. And I'd be like, okay, thank you.
Well, hold on.
They don't do that.
Hold on. Some accountability has to fall on you because that means that you're choosing dudes that will take advantage of that.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm totally a dude in a very feminine form.
Okay. No. I'm saying that your choices in men, you have to take some accountability for that because those particular men that you're choosing are taking advantage of that.
No,
like for me personally, even if a woman asks me type shit on a first date and I accept, obviously I'm already attracted to it. So if I have a good first date, I'm paying probably regardless.
Okay,
that doesn't make it to me. I'm in my mind already. It already seems like you're going after men or people that are not really interested in you like that. They don't really fuck with you like that. And so they just be like, all right, cool. She asked me, duh, I'm
okay,
cool with that.
I think, I'm making it sound way worse than it is.
Okay.
But, like, we'll hang out all this stuff, and then I'll be like, oh, like, let's go get food, and it's my idea. And I'm like, I got it, don't worry.
Okay.
And it's because I kind of take the lead.
Okay.
And which is not good.
Okay, but that's different. If you just hanging out and you say, hey, let's get food, then yeah, that is on you. But that's why I asked you specifically, do you pay for first dates? Because that's completely different.
I've accidentally asked a guy on a date to go see a play with me. And I didn't realize it was like a date, but I guess it was. But he was sweet. And I ended up buying the tickets. Like, that's what I do. I'm like, if it's my idea, I'll pay. But then
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Carrying on.
17, if you had to, like, what would you tell your 17-year-old self, knowing what you know now? Looking back and you had to meet yourself at 17, what would you tell yourself? Like, lock it down and wait for the right man, don't have sex. What would you tell your 17-year-old self?
What would you tell your 17-year-old self?
That the answers aren't outside of you, because I feel like I'd always look for men to answer all of my questions that I've ever had. I thought when I had a man, it would complete me. And I feel like, too, especially with, like, my dad not being in my life, you look for somebody to guide me. Like, so that's where, for me, I put too much value in someone else having the answers for me. So that's why I'm really big on accountability. So I would just tell myself, like, to be patient, to take your time, because I was always quick. Oh, let's try to get in a relationship. Like, we weren't even compatible. There's a lot of just not compatible factors. So I feel like for me, it would be to slow down and to really get to know people instead of just blindly banking on potential that most likely will never be tapped into, or selling.
I've been getting paid $1,000.
I will be getting
an
ad blocker. Do not come
just
for
from
me,
this
okay?
app on my phone.
I can't.
And I don't know if you can see this, but it's called.
Selling myself short because there's a fear of, well, I don't know, this could be the best that I could get. I might as well just shut up and suck a dick.
And that's what I meant about.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm like, because you're like, shit.
Go ahead.
What was the last thing she said?
that she can't date potential and you need to slow down.
Okay, so, I need to slow down. I believe the guys.
And then move up a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Should I go here?
Yeah.
Okay, so I, like, believe the guys' words, like, oh, you're so pretty, and, like, you're beautiful. And I'm like, oh, my God, you mean it? Wow. And then I'm like, yeah, I could settle down. Like, and then
okay, so
and
you
then
get quick to.
No, I get quick. I'm like, okay, and then it's like a week fling, and then like they'll do one thing, and I'm like, I'm done.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, so for you, it's up and then it's down.
Yeah, but thing is, like, once it's down, like once it's like you show me one thing, I'm like, I once broke up with not really break up, but like I had a situationship, and I ended things officially with him.
Because.
Well, I mean, he ended up getting with his ex, but. I sent a lawyer document style. I was like, I, Tamara Alice, shall resign from our sexual position. And I was like, due to the actions on this date. And it was so fucking funny. And
So you sent that because he got back with his ex?
Not even that. She like came and visited him in school. He goes to Alabama, so that's already an L.
Okay. So, but what was the reason why you broke it off with him?
Because he slept with 12 girls in college within the first 2 months.
What does that matter?
It doesn't matter, but when you're calling me and saying, I miss you, not I love you, but, like, I miss you, I want to hang out with you, like, I like you so much, blah, blah, just saying stuff, and then, like, having just like, I don't know, then posting that someone came to visit the girl and they're in bed together and finding out they...
Again, still, why does that matter?
Because then he wants to see me after he said all that.
And?
I mean, like...
Here's what's happening. This is called projection, right? Okay, so you are projecting onto him how you think he should be based off of what you view shit.
Yeah.
So hold on. So for you personally, if you like somebody, if you want to see somebody, you miss somebody, you're more than likely not going to be seeing other people, dealing with other people, etc.
Yeah.
But you got to understand that men and women are completely different. A man can be completely head over heels in a relationship, married with kids, be willing to die for you, and still go fuck somebody else.
Why?
Because that's just how we made.
Why say I like you, I miss you after you just had someone in bed?
This is the point. We don't have the same sleeping
Common
with other
sense.
people. And
Common
no,
sense.
she said common sense. She getting sassy. All right.
Okay.
We don't have the same connection between love and sex like you do. For women, it's love and sex are kind of the same shit. For us, love and sex are separate.
He tried to tell me he just wanted to get off, and that's who was around.
Exactly. That's true.
Okay.
That's actually factual. Yes.
He was like, it's not that deep. And
It's
I was
not.
like, I'm not saying anything.
But carrying on.
About women nowadays, because exactly what you'd be telling your 17-year-old self is what happened back in the day. So when I'm repeating these things, I'm going, oh, you're old-fashioned. But it seems like women do what they like, and then they hit a certain age and say, oh, well, I've got to settle. But it's not settling. You're just getting whatever you can.
You know,
or whatever you deserve.
You know what?
Because if you think back now, you'd be telling people now, rather than say that auntie's old-fashioned or auntie don't know what she's talking about, look what she be telling her 17-year-old self, which ain't nothing that I ain't already said.
Yeah,
because
that's fine.
really and truly, really and truly, let me finish.
That's
Because
like,
what
yeah.
I've always said, and you can check, I'm an older version of you. So where you've been, I've already been on up come back. So that's why I asked you, what would you tell your 17-year-old self? Because me telling you is, I'm telling my 30-year-old self. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So it's not that I'm old-fashioned. It's just that women hit a certain age and then realize, oh, my God, it wasn't that old-fashioned. You know, it works because it does. But there's no point in waiting till you're a certain age to start thinking about it. You know, even if you're like, you hold your own accountability. So it's like if you meet somebody and they were like 17, 18, and you saw them acting a certain way, they ask you for advice, you wouldn't say, do as I do. You say, listen, this is what happened to me. And this is what I thought. And what I recommend you do is blah, blah, blah. Am I right or am I wrong? If they ask you for your advice.
Okay. Yeah. For you personally, do you agree or disagree with that?
Well, I mean, when I give people advice, I'm like, don't do what I did.
Okay.
Like, I give people, like, I feel like my whole life is a warning story. I'm like, it's like based on situations.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. If you was to go back in time and tell your 17-year-old self or 16-year-old self something about dating and relationships, what would it be? Give us a 20-second synopsis.
Okay, I would say it's, girl, don't do it.
Don't do what?
Don't date. You're not ready.
Oh, so like take your time.
Yeah, I feel
shit.
like, I mean, at like 16, 17 years old, I absolutely didn't know myself. And you're kind of like playing a house, like you're playing a game when you're dating someone at that age. Like, it's not real.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Carrying on.
Totally get what you're saying. Like, I totally agree with that. I think that no matter what you decide to do, you have to accept whatever repercussions come behind that. So any advice that I give to anybody is do what you want, but just know there are repercussions, good, bad, or indifferent, that are going to come behind it. So, I mean, and I think that's just where I'm at. I don't even think it's like an age thing. I think it's like, in reality, I have a son. And you really start asking yourself questions. And again, I hate that it took having a child to really look into my life and call myself out on my bullshit.
So
but
if you got pregnant earlier, if you got pregnant at 18,
I have
19,
my Jewish mother to call me
Say
out.
what?
I have my Jewish mother to call me out on my bullshit.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Yeah.
good bullshit.
Yeah.
I was always on birth control. Okay. I was on birth control for a decade. I got off birth control because the person I was with wanted to have a baby. Okay. So again, I thought I did it right. Clearly not, because I wasn't married. But it still didn't work out because it just wasn't my guy. So that's where I just think, like, even if I still would have taken it slow, there just were a lot of people that just were genuinely not my person, and that's okay.
I would just
speaking of marriage, I wanted to know, do you think we're in a post-marriage society? Because on one hand, we hear that women should wait till they're married to have sex, but at the same time, we also hear from the men that they don't want to get married anymore. So what do we do with that?
Seems like it's true, because nowadays a lot of people.
Hold on, before she answers, what are your thoughts on that? question.
Like, can you rephrase the question?
So from a lot of women, they want to get married, or the right way to do things is to get married and have kids, etc.
Yes.
Right? But a lot of women are actually not getting married. A lot of women are not even getting in relationships but still having kids. And as well as from the men's side, men are not wanting to get married in totality.
I think this is trauma response from our parents' generations before, because divorce was popularized around like our parents' age or grandparents' age. So I think it's just carrying generational trauma, is seeing, the going back and forth of parents and legalities and stuff. Because, like, I have family who work in divorce court, and boy, is it ugly. Because it's a lot more than, like, I want to live with you. It's also, like, there's house, there's bills, financial. There's, like, so much that people will argue over that it's, like, okay, sometimes even, like, the marriage title is so overwhelming because of the legal stuff.
Okay, and trauma from whose end? From men's end or from women's end?
I mean, I can only speak from my experience.
Okay, so women?
From women's experience. Well, I have a father who's single, and he goes through ladies like that. So, I mean, hey, he's got it. But, like, I see the non-commitment and see that, like, I'm being introduced to all these women, and I'm talking to them, I'm like, okay, well, I won't see them again. Or, or like, okay, an hour later, there's someone else coming. But I'm saying, like, you're seeing that commitment is really not a thing.
Okay, got you.
Sadly.
Okay, and for you personally, is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh my God, I am trying to go to therapy for it. But, not like that. But, like, I don't know. I mean, I want commitment. I want to be able to find it. But I'm not trusting of men because I've seen other things. Like, I'm not trusting because I'm like, you actually want to be with me? I'm like, okay, well, I don't tell them I don't trust, but, like, I don't trust.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to be very clear. It's definitely not a trauma response for men. It's just no benefit towards men. It's literally no benefit to get married in 2022 from a male perspective.
Really?
Well,
Why?
name one.
Why?
Name one benefit. Just one. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Okay. The benefit of marriage is if you marry your best friend, that's your buddy for life.
No, that's not true.
I want a ring.
You want a ring. I said, what is one
I'll
benefit?
get you a ring. I'll get you a ring pop, and you'll be the happiest man.
What benefit does a man get from marriage? Name one.
Exclusivity.
You already get that in a relationship. Name one. Don't
children,
worry.
a home.
You already get that.
I don't know, just stability. You know, I'm like, okay, like you're stuck with me till death do us part.
That's not true because divorces is up like hell is.
Okay, well, I think if I can say.
That's my point. Thank you. So that's why we have this culture of men not wanting to get married because it's literally no benefit no more. Women are divorcing.
I just want someone to give me their life. Like
what?
Like I want like a marriage, like we're joining together, like you know.
I understand that, and I get that from your perspective, but I'm talking about from a male's perspective.
Have you not seen a rom-com?
What?
Have you a rom-com?
I don't even know what that is.
Like a romantic comedy movie.
No.
And how in the end they get married and you're so happy for them.
Yeah, but life is not movies.
It can't be.
Carrying on.
Well, looking at marriage as a contract rather than a partnership. And there's a huge difference between that because with
marriage
a contract, there's so many terms and many headaches and this and that. And
well, it is a contract.
Well,
yeah, women are
that's
paid
why.
To leave, yeah.
But that's because that is what it is now. Because realistically, the traditional sense of marriage is not a contract, really, in terms of the law. Once the law is involved, that's when everything went tits up, I think.
Yeah. So the problem is that there's zero advantage.
I think men are afraid of commitment. Men are afraid because the contract seems so real. At the end of the day, it's just a title of like marriage. Like, this is my husband, this is my wife.
Oh my God, your buzzwords kill me. First of all, men are not afraid. They are aware. They are aware that they doesn't get anything from that contract. Matter of fact, they get more incentivized for you to break that contract. Now you get alimony. You still get the money.
Sign a prenup.
Prenups get thrown out all left and right.
Where did you get that fact?
It's not a 100%. I can't give you a statistic of how many prenups get thrown out.
You're right,
but they do get thrown out left and right. What do you mean? So why would you even put yourself in that position to begin with? That's the whole point.
I think it's guidelines. Like, hey, like you're joining, like combining so much. Like there has to be something. Like if you're both putting money into a house, you're both putting in. Okay.
So when I'm about to say,
I didn't know where I was going. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to marriage itself, do you care more so about the contract or about the ceremony and the promise to God type shit.
The promise to God. I'm like, you're saying.
So hold on, pause for just a second. So you are okay with a dude being married, but not contract wise?
Yeah, I'm so confused.
Okay, marriage is multiple two of things. It's the contract, right? Okay. That's like through the government. It's a fucking oath in front of God, whatever religion that you believe in. Yeah. That's one thing.
If you love someone, you can stand in front of everyone and say, "This is my person." Like, that's sexy.
I got you, but I'm asking you particularly, do you care about the contract itself, or you care about just the title of, hey, that's my wife? We don't have a contract, but that's still my wife. We got a ring and we had a ceremony.
If it's official, the ceremony, everything, I don't think I'll ever look back at the marriage document, but like I will believe like this is proof. That's all I need.
Oh, so you don't need to sign on a dotted line.
No, I just want to say like we're married. Okay. I want it to be legit. I don't care about like, oh, I don't know. This is like,
yes, we ask good questions and I need good answers. No,
these are really good, and I have commitment issues, so this is hard for me to be like, oh, like.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Carrying on.
To marriage in the Western world for a man. There is zero advantage to marriage in the Western world for a man.
Facts.
There is zero statistical advantage. If you use your mind, if you use your head instead of your heart, and you look at the advantages to getting married, there are absolutely and utterly none. Because this new idea of new age feminism just basically destroys
blame the feminists
in the idea in the event of her leaving. And it's very common that women leave, right? Let's stop the man versus woman attack, et cetera, et cetera. Life's difficult for everybody. We all have different challenges, different things to go through. But if a woman marries a man and it goes wrong, she has emotional heartbreak. Fine. But if a man marries a woman and it goes wrong, he has emotional heartbreak. Plus, everything he has ever worked for is ripped out from underneath him, and he has to give that chick money forever.
In some places, you don't even have to be married.
Exactly.
That's why the men don't want to live with the women either.
That's right. So when you make these rules and these laws, right, under the guise of feminism and equality, all this garbage, all you're doing is scaring men away from commitment. And then you have to add in the other hidden element. And the other hidden element is what I said earlier, is whose fault a lot of this is promiscuous women, right? Mm-hmm. So when society's broken down, if women were saying, if all women got together and said, we'll only have sex after marriage, guess what men would do? Get married. But you don't, right? So now you're in Miami. I go to Miami. I can fuck anything in the club. I don't have to marry any of them. If I marry them, I get wrecked. So, like, let's all use our brains here. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to be like, well, no. Bounce. See ya. No. So men have been scared away from the idea of marriage, and that's a lot of that is the fault of this new bullshit law and this new feminism and this new crap. They don't give men any tactical advantage. And I'm talking about small things. A man's not even allowed to be a man in his own house. You know, in England, you will get accused of emotional abuse. I can marry a woman, not lay a hand on her. I can just raise my voice at her. That's emotional abuse. I can raise my voice at her because she's going out drinking with dudes. She can go out drinking 6 nights a week with men. And I can say, what the fuck, you're my wife, sit down. She can call the cops, call me emotionally abusive. I get arrested now. Now there's a court case against me.
Like
I have to go to court and defend myself. She'll divorce me, take my house. I have to sell my car because she's drinking vodka with fucking God knows who.
But you notice that
it's insanity.
Okay, go ahead. What?
That is so dumb. I'm sorry. No, emotional abuse is not, oh, I raised my voice at you.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that was stupid. Like, no woman's gonna be like, he yelled at me, I'm gonna call the cops. Or if they did that, then whatever.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest, I think that's a different conversation because we are talking about what's emotional abuse and what's not. The other conversation, the more so what he's talking about is you can go to jail for emotional abuse. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like.
I think that's
I think you need therapy for that. Like, if you didn't lay a finger, I don't know, not jail.
No. See, that's why you wouldn't even want to live with a woman. You wouldn't want to be married to a woman. That's what I'm saying.
Just go gay while you're at it.
No, chill out. What the fuck? Where my buttons at?
I feel like.
Where's my buttons at?
Because
hell no.
You're lost for words. If men are like, I'm not going to marry because women, blah, blah, blah. Okay, go. Fine. Live with a dude. Marry a dude. If you don't want to be with a female, go marry a guy.
No, we never said we don't want to be with a female. We said we don't want to cohabitate, which is live together in our vicinities of different places, as well as marriage.
No, I want to lay with someone in bed. You don't want to lay with someone in bed and wake up and have toast and eggs and
Of course, but if your caveat is your pros is probably sex, eggs, and you said toast. Those are your pros. Your cons is they can fucking take you for alimony because they live with you.
Okay, then make a prenup. Include all of this. If that's your fear, you can do that. I don't think that they should outlaw marriage as a thought.
Okay, buddy. If you get wrecked on everything you do, you wouldn't get into something that it wouldn't make sense for you to get into something.
All I know is I want marriage, I want a ring, I want kids, I want a house and a loving husband, I want to marry my best friend. I think marriage is a beautiful thing, and y'all, like, not y'all, but like people who have like a bad side about it, it's like, that's like, you marry your best friend, someone you want to do life with. Like, love is a beautiful thing.
I agree that love is a beautiful thing, but I don't agree.
And marriage symbolizes it. Like, it's official, declared.
No, it doesn't.
Do you believe in soulmates?
We get off topic. Let's stay on topic. Marriage, in and of itself, is a business. It started as a business. It's always been a business. It had never been about love. It's always been about duty and business. Always. It's only been recently we add in this love and happiness things. So once things actually start fuck up, you're like, oh, I don't love this nigga no more. Let me leave. No, that's not how that shit works.
Fine.
So I believe in love. Don't get that twisted. I believe in a good relationship. I believe in a man and woman being in love, etc. I just don't agree with fucking marriage.
So you're never gonna buy a woman a ring? Put a ring on it, like how Beyonce said?
Let me rephrase that. I'm never going to sign on a dotted line for marriage.
Okay, if y'all are fine, I think this is fine. If you're fine just saying, oh, like, I see you as my husband, I see you as my wife, and have rings, because I just want something to symbolize it so other men are not going to come up to me.
Gotcha.
Like, that's what you look when you go up to someone, like, do they have a ring or do they not? Like, because it's a respect thing. Symbolism. I'm like, oh wait, you don't want a ring, so you don't have a.
No.
I get where you're coming from.
I never even said that.
No, but I see it as thought bubbles.
What do you think of child support?
And that's another interesting thing, because a lot of these arguments, it goes beyond man and woman, and it goes into the larger sphere as a whole, right? Because we talked earlier about war and how a lot of men used to die, and that doesn't happen anymore. So what you used to have in societies, and I'm not saying I have all the answers, I'm just commenting, right? What you used to have in societies is a bunch of men would die at war, because men have more dangerous lives than women. There'd be a bunch more women than men. The top G's would impregnate a bunch of women, and the top G's could take care of the women, and that'd be it, et cetera, et cetera. That's now changed, right? So a lot of the reason that monogamy is pushed is because it's good for society. And it is good for society. It's good for society as a whole to have a man, a woman, a family. They're together. The man provides for the woman, et cetera. The government doesn't want to pay for all these kids. If you don't have child support, who's paying for these kids? The government does it. It breaks down, right? So that's why child support is enforced in many parts of the world. In certain other parts of the world, child support isn't enforced because they have religious beliefs or genuine family beliefs that keep the families together. But in the Western world, now you need child support because you've broken things down to the point where men don't want to be married to chicks. Chicks don't want to listen to the man. The man can't even be the man in his own household. He can't even feel respected where he goes. His woman gives him no status. And now he doesn't want to fucking deal with her anymore. So how do you get that kid paid for?
He sounds heartbroken.
Tell the man, or you go to jail.
So I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I made $49,000 in the last 30 days copying and pasting.
And you just come along with the fucking long arm of the law and you fuck him. And so, yeah, it's difficult. It's hard to answer. Yeah, but it's hard to answer. The true answer to all of it is an idealistic answer. I don't like to think idealistically and talk idealistically, but it's the truth. The true answer to it is to instill in the man a sense of duty in which he wants to take care of his woman regardless, because that's his child. But you will do that. I'll tell you how you do that. You do that by inspiring out of the man by being a very good woman. So I'll give you an example. If I had a child with a woman, and she was always a great woman to me. She never cheated on me. She was a good woman to me. And I was running around being whatever. And she's like, look, I just can't put up with you anymore. You're top G. You're going to do what you're going to do. I'm going to look after your kid. You can see him anytime you want. I care about you. Please don't leave me in poverty. I'd say, cool. 100%. I'm not a fucking dickhead.
Can I
cool,
say
that's a real man though, because I was in a situation but I was just in a situation like that to where it's like hearts don't break even, and that's the reality too. It's like if those morals and principles are not instilled in a man, none of that shit matters. So obviously the child support stuff obviously hits close home to me because I'm already $50,000 just in lawyer fees trying to get him to provide. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it sucks because it's like you play in the NBA, like why don't you want to do more? And it's just because, again, of the relationship. It's personal. It's not about our son.
Personal. That's right.
So it's like, if you're not.
So I just feel like.
Yep. Go ahead.
As a child of divorced parents, and hopefully not a future divorcee or divorcee, but I think paying for your child should not matter on who the parent is. That's your child. Like, take care of your child. I think child support should always be a thing from both parents so you can support your kid. Right?
But okay, give me your give me how that works for you personally.
Okay, I mean, like, you created this child. Don't make it hard for this child to live in this world. Like, if your kid wants to do sports and that costs money, and the mom who you're no longer with is like, hey, can you help out? Yes, that's your kid's, like, that's your kid's interest. How about your kid?
But I think there's multitude of levels to this, right? I think the number one level is there is a form of women scamming men out of tens, if not hundreds of $1,000s. And
I think those women are bad to do that because, again, it's not about them; it's about the child.
That's number one. It should be a cap on child support. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you also have to take into account the different perspectives. And I get what you're saying. Don't get it twisted. I do understand what you're saying about being there for your kid. But to some degree, let's say me and you got together and then we had a marriage and things fell out because
we wouldn't have a marriage because you don't believe in marriage.
We had a serious relationship, all right? And we had a kid. Okay. And we break up and you start to get child support from me and you was a bitch, you was blah blah blah, you was basically a bad person towards me, right? I would now have resentment because I gotta pay you and then you gotta use the money for the kid. So now I might have a little bit of resentment towards you and the child. Even though you should, try to separate the feelings between the mom and the child, etc. It's still hard nonetheless.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah. So there's probably multitude more layers of that.
I just think people need to know when you bring a child in this world, like, step aside your own feelings. Like, I agree to some extent. Yeah. Or what if, like, you create an account designated to the child and, like, they can be the only ones to access it if you reach a certain age?
Well, to reach it, but I don't want to get into it. But the point is that wouldn't work until that child can be financially, literate. First of all,
so I think it's so complicated.
Yeah, exactly. Carrying on.
It's like, why do you get money for making a poor choice?
Well, it wasn't a poor choice because it took two.
I'm not trying to, like, disrespect you in any way. It's just like, if you left. And so it's like, why do you get money for it? It just doesn't make sense.
Because we made a commitment. At the end of the day, we made a commitment. We have a forever commitment. Fuck marriage. We are forever family. Right. So again, as someone who is literally going through this, if I made more money than him, I would be paying him child support, and that would be fair to me.
But this is what's really interesting. What's truly interesting is if you go to other countries, and I'm talking about civilized countries, right? If you go to Poland or Czech Republic or whatever, these countries, which are in many metrics more civilized than the West, they're safer to live in, they're cleaner, etc. There's no child support laws. So if you have a divorce, the man just takes care of the woman because that's his kid and that's just what he's supposed to do and that's just it. So what you're saying is, you're right about the man having the morality instilled inside of them. And my point is that the reason a lot of this doesn't exist, the reason men don't have morality installed in them is not just about the individual case of the man. It's about society as a whole. It's about women as a whole, men as a whole, the dating game as a whole, the life he's living as a whole. And this is the world we live in. This is why I was talking about how dangerous new think is, because now we have this new think, this new world, and we're living in this new world. And the truth is, as a man, now the game has changed. In the game of chess, sometimes it's not about winning. It's about making sure you don't lose. If you cannot lose, if you cannot blunder any pieces and protect your king long enough, you'll win the game. And there's a lot of men who are now like, okay, how do I not lose? Well, you know what? I become fucking ruthless. That's how I don't lose. I get all my sex because the women are promiscuous. I get laid as much as I want. I don't let anyone fucking tie me into anything dumb. Any bitch wants to get fresh to me or fucking talk to another dude, I cut her off financially. And you just get ruthless so you don't lose the game. But that's because the game's been rigged against men. So the harder you rig the game against us, the more ruthless we're going to have to be to compete. And it's unfortunate. I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm just saying why men do what they do.
Can I just say with regards to...
What are your thoughts? Let me go different.
It's stirring up a lot of thoughts in my head.
Well, talk to me. Shit.
Okay, I don't like he talk for one. He talks a lot. And he has a lot of anger, so I feel like I'm reacting to his anger.
Okay, how does he have a lot of anger?
Well, because he's just like, I mean, I can have sex, I can do this, and blah blah blah, and like, okay, cool, bud, but like, I don't even know how my thoughts on this because I just feel like I don't know. I'm just reacting to this, and I'm like, why do you feel that men are being targeted?
Because if a man says, hey, I don't like fat bitches, right? Oh, you're misogynistic. Oh, you're mad, you're bad, you're blah blah this and blah blah blah. But a woman can say, I don't like short dudes.
Okay, that I think is fair because I don't feel like if you announce something to attack a group, why would you say that you can keep your thoughts in your head? I feel like being mean to anyone, especially, is.
I'm just saying have the same energy. We as men accept, okay, if a woman says, I don't like short dudes, we like, all right, you don't like short. Even though a short dude can't change his height. But a man can say the exact same shit about weight and then get a hella backlash on the internet, in person. People call it misogynistic, etc. But you can change your weight. You can't change your height. So to me, it's even unfair to begin with, but still, it's still not fair.
Well, I feel like y'all's voices are heard more. So that's why the actions are seen as heavier.
Our voices are heard more?
Yes.
Stop the cap. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, typically a man will have a job in a field and some of the women will be more at home. This is at least how I grew up, and like have like their lady friends and they'll chat, whatever. But the guys will be talking to a larger audience and saying more aggressive words. I feel like.
I don't think so.
Situational.
No, I think that now in history is probably one of the first times that women are getting a inside look on how men speak and what we think about. I think that's what's happening. So,
yeah, I think that's why we're all like, what? But
It's more like you getting a peek into the locker room talk.
Okay, well, and then boys would not be able to handle girl talk, so I feel like
I'm not trying to make this a boy versus girl thing, but I am trying.
It is what it is.
But I'm trying to get you to understand that certain things are certain ways, and for you to say that he's speaking with anger is not necessarily true. He's just speaking with conviction and he's speaking facts. I wouldn't consider that anger.
He has passion in his voice. He sounds like he was hurt. Like, that's what I'm getting. I'm like,
can't make this shit up.
I'm like, who hurt you?
Oh my fucking God. All right. What are your thoughts on the overall video of what you've seen?
I mean, I'm kind of disappointed.
In who? In what?
Well, I feel like it's just like a negative standpoint on like marriage. It's supposed to be a beautiful idea. And maybe I am a romantic in my head of what marriage is supposed to be. But like, I don't think it's like this end-all, be-all, doomsday, like, oh, we're bound to fight and not be with each other. Because, like, I've seen so many successful marriages and love stories of people that, oh, my God.
50 to 6. Let me just give you some facts so then you can maybe.
I don't want facts. I want emotion. La, la,
50 to 60% of marriages doesn't even work out. That's number one. 70 to 80% of those are initiated by women. The divorce are initiated by women. So again, from a male perspective, and I see that
because women are educated now and have jobs, so that it's able to.
And also, hold on, I like that you just said that.
Yeah.
It's more likely for her to get divorced if she's educated.
And do you know second marriages fail? Like at 75% of rate.
See?
Yeah.
So, going back to the original point, if you are a man, why would you put yourself in that position? So, I wouldn't look at it as sad. I would look at it as understanding this is your point of view as a man. This is your point of view.
You're scaring me. Are you
hold on.
No one's going to love me?
I'm about to give you some game right now. And to the 10% of women that are watching right now, here's some game. If you truly want to be married, you have to make him convinced that you are literally not like everyone, the majority of females.
How?
There's
like, what's something a female can do that you're like,
Three things I always tell people. Attractive, feminine, loyal. Attractive, loyal, feminine. Meaning that once you are attractive, you are disciplined when it comes to your eating habits, etc. Blah, blah, blah. He's going to be like, damn, she fine as fuck, obviously.
Well, I think it also goes in when people take care of themselves. It goes into, like, how they, like, emotionally, like, the confidence, you know, like, healthy-minded. Because people, I don't know, like, if someone takes care of themselves and they're like, it's good.
You keep making this fatal flaw of comparing what you like in men and thinking that men like that in you. We don't care about your confidence. Do we want you a confident individual as a person? Yes. But does that make you sexier? Not necessarily.
Confidence is sexy.
To you.
Yes. So it's sexy to all. That's it. That's
not how this works.
No, it is. My view is right and your view is wrong. Confidence is sexy, guys.
It's sexy. Carrying on. Loyal. So you're not in the streets. You're not fucking posting on Instagram. You are actually listening to your dude, etc. Blah, blah, blah. No, and feminine. So
okay, but the guy needs to prove that he's loyal too.
We about to have a whole discussion.
This is a whole discussion.
Let's get it.
Okay.
No. Okay, what is loyalty?
Loyalty, okay, I want the guy to have female friends. Okay, but like listen to this. Because if guys who have female friends, they're going to know how to talk to a female more. And, like, they can get advice. But I don't want them, like, it's boundary. I'm not saying I want guy friends, but I want my boyfriend to be friends with my female friends and then, like, have a good relationship.
What's your definition of friends?
Okay, like.
I'm asking, what's your definition of friends?
Friends, if in a group setting, you can stand and talk and blah, blah, blah. You can handle yourself in a room with who you're talking to.
That's not friends, but all right.
Okay.
Carry on.
Y'all can, I don't know.
That's like an associate.
God.
A friend, okay, let me give you my example of a friend. Mine may be a little bit extreme than yours, but my example of a friend is chosen family. To me, friends are chosen family.
Yeah.
That's my definition.
Yes. Okay, because in college, like, my friends who we hang out with, like, literally, like, there's some couples, like, my roommate is their, like, boyfriend, like, we're all genuinely friends.
Yeah.
And, like, it's good, like we're, like, we'll hang out, we'll study together, we'll, like, get food, if someone's sick, we'll take care, like, it's, like, being there, like, friend, like, because I believe in loyalty and all that stuff, I take friendship very seriously, so if my boyfriends become friends with my friends, I want to know that if I can't help my friend out and she's stranded and you can help her, but please go help her. I want to know I can count on you.
What's, okay, in a relationship, what's loyalty? How does a man show loyalty? Okay, let me change it.
Yeah, I'm like,
does a man and woman show loyalty the same way in a relationship?
Does he what?
Does a man and woman show loyalty the same way? Okay, how does a woman show loyalty? How does a man show loyalty?
Okay, a woman can be more like announcing, like, I don't know, I feel like if I am exclusive with a guy and a guy will come up to me and talk, I'll be friendly, hi, hello, but then I'll be like, I'll somehow bring up my boyfriend, like, make it very, very clear, establishing boundaries. Okay. And no, I want to be very clear with what I'm asking you so you can understand better. How do you show loyalty to the guy you are with in a relationship? Oh, I will be there. Like, if you are sick, I will help you out. Like, if you need help with, like, certain things, day-to-day tasks. Like, I don't, because, like, my love language is, like, it's, like physical touch and words of affirmation along with, like, acts of service. Like, it's, like, helping or being there for someone. That's how you show loyalty, by showing love.
No.
Towards that individual. Okay. And only towards... Are you serious? Yes. Everything I say, you're making... Okay.
Okay, now how does a man show loyalty in a relationship? Or how would you want your man to show loyalty to you?
Worshipping me.
Huh?
Worshipping me. I'm kidding. You're gonna I knew you were going to do that.
What the fuck? No. So, okay. Let me give you some game and then we can wrap this up.
I don't know what loyalty is.
You don't, obviously. All right, when it comes to men and women show loyalty differently, right? Okay. A woman shows loyalty by not fucking other dudes. That's how...
okay, well, duh.
No, that's not duh. You didn't say that, so then it's not a duh. Thank you. So that's the number one thing that a man wants you for is to be exclusive sexually to you. Okay. Okay. For him to you, it's not that, though. It's security and provisioning.
Yeah, you want someone to provide.
Yes, and security. So meaning like if someone breaks into the house and the guy's not doing his job, yeah, you gonna be like, nah, I don't respect you no more. So being faithful is just added on to that. Okay. So a lot of times women like to equate loyalty of, since I am bringing faithfulness to the relationship, you should bring faithfulness to the relationship, and that's the only thing. No, it doesn't work like that. You bring faithfulness, I bring security and provisioning. My faithfulness is just added on top of that. And it's selected depending on how much leverage you have as a man.
I think I agree with you. This is weird.
Duh. I don't miss, boo-boo.
No. Okay, for someone who knows so much about love and dating and relationships, why are you so against it?
Because I know so much. And it's not, I want to be clear.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Oh my God. Ad hominems. Anyway, when it comes to different relationships, again, I'm not against relationships. I want that to be clear. I'm not against relationships. I'm against the wrong persons in the relationships. There's a big difference.
Do you see yourself, like, getting married one day?
Like, married? No.
Why? Like, I don't understand. Don't you want to announce it? 1, 2, 3.
I gave you 4 statistics
but, like, I don't
on why
care
you shouldn't
about
get
that.
married.
I don't care about statistics. Oh, divorce. Like, but like, don't you want? Because I know you're about.
No, go ahead. I wanted you to finish because we about to wrap up.
Because for some people, it can last forever. That could be the one.
Oh man, you're so young. Matter of fact, for context, how old are you, and what do you do for a job, and then your relationship status? Those 3.
Oh God. Okay. Okay. So I'm 19. Mm-hmm. I'm in college.
Okay.
I work. I babysit sometimes.
Well, no. I'm about to say don't disclose where you work at. So you were in college, okay, and then relationship status.
I'm a player. Like I kind of talk around.
She belongs to the streets.
Carrying on.
I'm trying to retire from the streets. That's what I say. I have the thoughts in my head. I'm like, oh, like I want to be, but then like when I finally
scoot up just a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Put up to the microphone.
And then when I finally get to know someone, I just see the red flags and turn away.
Oh, sounds familiar. Anyway, carrying on. So bottom line is, what are your overall thoughts on the conversations that we had so far?
You might have put some knowledge in my head.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. Hey, that's what I'm talking
about. You might be right. Sorry.
And then what's your IG? Like, shout out your IG.
_TamaraAlice_.
All right. If you want to follow her, the link to her Instagram will be in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Get Red Pill and Chill. It is on Amazon right now. It is a card game. You already know what it is. It's a card game to talk about these different topics that we have on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, you're welcome. If you want to see part 4, tell me in the comments. I want to see part 4. Part 4. This is part 3. This might be even part 4.
3 is my favorite number.
Oh, talk to me. So if you want to see the next part of this, then hit me up in the comments. Other than that, I'm out. Peace.
Bye.
Shee-hee.